Hello. Yeah. Now, science and tech current affairs. First topic is this. This is shadow libraries. Now, it does not have any relation to this. This is just shadow. I searched it on the internet. That is the photo I found. Then, what are shadow libraries? So, these are nothing but you must have used them. These are all those pirated copies of books and all that you get. Correct. Z library you might have used. Okay, books and everything. Fiction, non-fiction, technical, all the books you get. Now, the thing is that shadow libraries, so these are unauthorized digital repositories providing free access to books, journals, research papers. Of course, this is violating copyright laws. By the way, there is one thing in India. In India, the Supreme Court has allowed that the photocopied versions of all these notes or whatever books you have, you can use them for your individual purpose. You cannot sell them, but for access to students, they have said that you can photocopy it and use it. Okay, that in itself is legal in India. Now, because of that, actually, many books, the foreign author book and all, they release different versions for India and South Asia. Okay, so you might have seen on some books it is written that only to be sold in these countries, India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, all this. Okay, then operate via mirror domains across jurisdiction, difficult to regulate. So mirror domains are what? Basically what they do, if there is a website and that gets banned, they will add like 1, 2 or whatever, and that becomes mirror domains. Okay, mirror domains are actually also used for scams. Okay, so similar it will look www.amazon, but the n will be .com, same web page, everything same, you will check out, you will give it the money and it goes away. Okay, so those are mirror sites. Now next, why do shadow libraries exist? So of course, because of the high cost of textbooks and journals which are behind paywall. Then limited institutional access, that is subscriptions. Then weak public library systems, especially global south. Okay, then demand for democratization of knowledge. So if you see on websites, certain websites, they will tell you that you can also search it in your local library, and that gives you a link. But most of the local libraries or this culture is not there much in South Asia. Then why has the nature of digital piracy evolved? Now, earlier grassroots access movement, that is students, researchers. Now it has become integrated global ecosystem. Okay, involves publishers, codes, governments, expansion from books to multimedia, data scrapping. So earlier it used to be very like simple, as in people who want to read this, researchers, okay, students, they were copying this, making these websites and all. But now it has become like a syndicate. So it is now pirating almost everything. Okay, so this is expansion from books to multimedia, data scraping, then persistent re-emergence via mirror sites. So this is the problem, why this has become a hurdle for the governments around the world. Otherwise, if the students were using, it was still fine. Then, what is AI dimension? Now, this we have talked about, that AI models are being trained on pirated datasets. Correct. Now, this was a major issue with India, in India also, around the world. So the thing is that if artificial intelligence is trained by taking all permissions, then it is very difficult to develop artificial intelligence in itself, because right now it is just expenditure, there is no income. The chat GPT, you think that the 200 rupees plan you take is anything to the company, so company is spending billions and billions of dollars, your subscription is of no use to them. So right now they are highly cash burning. Now if they start paying copyright for every content that they use, then they will essentially die. So that's why most countries have to allow this AI based systems to use all this data that is available online. Now, so what is happening? So instead of data that is present online, they are also trained on a lot of books and everything. So entire books are being uploaded, and that is being used by these artificial intelligence. Okay, then concerns of copyright violation in training data, then no compensation to authors, then data monopolization by big tech, then shift is from piracy to AI ethics and data governance. You need to understand, like, it may be beneficial to you right now that you can just search on chat gpt, but the whole ecosystem collapses. For example, let's say you stop going to news websites, correct, news website file cases and all. So if you stop going there, you start searching just on chat gpt, they get it from different newspaper websites, they give you a tabulated form, you get everything. Now you won't be visiting those news sites, they won't be getting ad revenue. If they don't get ad revenue, they won't be able to pay their reporters who will go on ground to collect that information. Then that entire ecosystem of media collapses. That is why you need to understand that for our use cases it's fine, but for the whole thing, when you're looking at governance level, this is a major issue. So that is why now, because of this, piracy has become a data governance issue also. This is the impact of AI. Like earlier, now it has stopped. What initial versions of chat gpt, if you just search there that this song lyrics I want, okay, so I keep searching for song lyrics, so it used to give lyrics. Then I won't be going to those websites, those Ghana.com, this, that, nothing I used to go. It used to give lyrics properly. Then I think they must have filed case or some complaints. So now if you search, it does not give you. It says that you can search it online. I cannot show you the lyrics directly, this, that. Okay. Then what are the key issues and challenges? So of course, copyright versus fair use versus public good debate. Then enforcement difficulty, cross-border mirror sites, then access inequality. Global South is highly dependent on these. Then ethical dilemmas, access versus creator rights. Then AI firms profiting from pirated data. Then lack of global consensus on digital governance. Here, please remember, if you are giving mains, we talked about this, I think DPIIT research paper came. That was with respect to AI versus copyright, if you remember. There was a DPIIT paper, okay, in which what they talked about, that the model that we should be following, it was just a recommendation paper, is like radio. So FM radio channels, they do what? They don't take permission from T Series, Sony Music. Otherwise, that is a very cumbersome process. That they go and they say that we want to play this song today at 2:15. So do we get permission? That does not work. So what they say, what the organization there is, that there is a central body, they can play any song. All these FM radios can play any song, but there is a body that is keeping a count. So then they keep account that T series, these many songs were played this month. And according to that, they will have to pay some small sum of money to T series. Similarly to Sony Music, similarly to everyone. So the same model is being suggested for AI also, that we cannot stop, we cannot force them to take permission from everybody, but whatever they are using, that should be tabulated by a central authority, and then some amount of money should be given to them. That is what they recommended in this paper. So this was a DPIIT recommendation. Okay, so this is based on radio channels, pricing of songs. But the problem in AI is that this allocation also becomes very difficult. Like here, if I play, let's say, if I play Sayara, okay, so I know this is T series song. So if I play this on my radio, I have to pay T series. But the problem is, if I search anything, let's say I search this article only, let's say this is about shadow libraries. Now, this AI is actually collecting from many different sources. Then which source should be paid what? So that allocation is also very difficult. Okay, because it generates its own content, but what it uses like 10, 20, 50 sites, we don't know, correct? So that is an issue. Then Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. Okay, it is under Ministry of Commerce, one of the departments. Then This we had done. Key issues and challenges, yes, done. Then what is the way forward? So expand open access diamond OA model. You need not know this. Then next, reform academic publishing, that is reduce paywalls. Then global norms for AI training data. Then strengthen international IPR enforcement. Promote public digital libraries. This is very important. Okay, this we don't have. So what can be done is actually all these, like many colleges have these. Okay, they have public libraries, but that is usually not shared with common people. So they already have paid for the subscription. Now subscription costs a lot of money for particular research paper or books. Now once they have got it, it does not cost them anything. Correct. So they can make it available. So that can be done. Then balance is needed between access and innovation plus IPR. Okay, simple topic. Then this is the next one. This is India's quantum leap, 1000 kilometer secure. Now this is a milestone that has been achieved. National Quantum Mission achieves milestone, indigenous tech and cyber security. Now see what they have done. So okay, let's see. First let me explain you, then we'll see what all. This is all theoretical. Space ही नहीं है क्या? हाँ. First you understand what is happening. Okay, so now this 1000 kilometer, okay, quantum connection, whatever they have made. Now understand what is this. So basically what they are doing is they are using optical fibers. You know optical fibers, the same ones that are used in your Wi-Fi, internet and all that. Now the thing is, optical fibers are very good, as in they have a process called total internal reflection, because of which nothing goes outside of them. So what happens? It collides here and then reflection, then reflection, then reflection, and then reflection, then reflection. So everything stays intact. That is why they are very important for lossless transmission. Now this is one thing you understand. Now this is about optical fibers. Now the second thing that you know about or should on is about quantum technologies. Now you know the classical computing is 101010 language, correct? Either it's 1 or 0. This is digital systems. Now quantum technologies is 1 or 0 or any correlation between them. Any correlation between them. That is probabilistic feature. So what it will say, instead of saying, so 0 is possible, 1 is possible, but also one more thing is possible, that the probability of being 1 is almost 80% and the probability of being 0 is 20%. This is also possible in quantum technologies. That is some correlation between 1 and 0, something in the middle is also possible, while in classical computing 0, 1, 0, 1, that's it. On, off, that's it. Now if you understand both of these, now see how they are applying this through optical fibers. So they are using something known as polarization. So what they are creating, basically they are sending these same light waves, okay, some kind of electromagnetic waves. Now they have assigned it like this. So vertical, if the wave is vertical in nature like this, it will be assigned, let's say 0. If it is horizontal, it will be assigned 1. Then the wave can travel diagonally also, correct? So it can be in different directions also. So that means if this is 0 and this is, if this is 0 and this is 1, now it can be in this direction also. It can be in this direction also. This is somewhere in between. So it covers anything between 0 and 1 also. Now what kind of light wave is being generated, that is being controlled from the ends. And that is how the information of 0, 1 or anything in between is also traveling. Otherwise normally optical fiber also contains the same analog waves that are going 0, 1 conversion. Here they are somehow in a tricky way, they have used polarizer to get this same information using the same optical fibers. So it's not like they have laid a quantum line, some other kind of features. No, same thing, just by using this polarization. This you understood? just write down slant is somewhere between 0 to 1. Vertical is, let's say, 0, horizontal is 1. Slant is, slant you understand now? That is 0 to 1, anything, somewhere in between. Then, now let's see this. So it says, what is India's 1000 kilometer quantum communication breakthrough? Now, India has developed a 1000 kilometer quantum communications network under the National Quantum Mission using indigenous technology by QNU Labs with support from Department of Science and Technology. This is a company, QNU Labs, and support of, of course, Department of Science and Technology. They have made that 1000 kilometer network. You understood what is that network. Achieved in less than 2 years versus 8-year target. So target was of 8 years. They have achieved it in much lesser time. Then one of the longest QKD. QKD is what? Quantum key distribution. So quantum key distribution network globally. Now, because this is based on quantum technology, what one thing it ensures is safety. Because changing anything in quantum technologies is very difficult. Correct? Because of all that features that you learn. Yeah. So making any changes or in this becomes very difficult. So it creates a safe zone or safe network connections. Then works across complex terrains including underwater and underground. Ultimately it's using optical fibers. Optical fibers are around the sea also, so it can work. Then next, what is quantum key distribution? So quantum key distribution is a method to share encryption keys using quantum particles or photons based on observer effect and no cloning not needed. Yeah, any interception disrupts particle and is immediately detected. As you understood in through quantum entanglement, these are some concepts. Now, if something is changed anywhere, what happens? This entanglement is broken and then you cannot get to the same information. So information is always secured, ensures virtually unhackable communications. Okay, then core idea is security is guaranteed by laws of physics, not computation. Okay, this I have talked about that. Usual cryptography is like, for example, two very big prime numbers being multiplied, getting to a large number like this m, correct? Now going in this direction is very easy. If I give you the two large numbers, you can get to m, but getting back from m to n1 and n2 is very difficult because you have to check all prime numbers 2 3 like that. Now if this is like 1 lakh digit prime number, 1 lakh digit prime number, very difficult to guess different combinations, correct? So this is what a traditional cryptography is, that is based on some mathematical principle. Mathematical principles are difficult to break, but they still have a probability that they can be broken if the computational ability is good enough, correct? But quantum technologies is based on the laws of physics itself. That is, it has been found that this particle and this particle, if they are quantum entangled, then any change you make in P1 will immediately change P2. And this has been just observed by humans. We don't know why this happens. For very long, we were trying to find that force through which this is happening. We could not find any force. So this is what we have observed, that once you change something here, this also immediately changes. Now, because of this, you cannot tamper with it. If you try to tamper with it here, then this also gets changed. So you are not getting to the same information. And they create locks that when both matches, then only you are getting the information. So if you make any change here, that gets logged, you're not getting any information. So this is how it crudely works. Of course, you cannot understand quantum technology really, okay? Then, what is the National Quantum Computing Mission? So launched in 2023 to 2031, 6,000 crore, make India global quantum leader, implemented by this. Each wit. Yeah. Okay, so it is working on whatever main things you learn about in quantum. So this is quantum computing, quantum communication, okay, then quantum sensing, quantum materials and devices. Okay, remembering this is a little tricky. So basically 50 to 1000 qubits. This is the computational power they are aiming for in this mission. Then 2000 kilometer QKD. 1000 they have achieved, 1000 more they have to make. Then making of atomic clocks, magnetometers and other quantum materials and devices. These are the main things that are part of our quantum mission. Then what is the strategic significance? So national security, unhackable communication, then global competition catch up with US, China and others, economic growth, this boost deep tech and reduce import dependence, digital sovereignty, secure future internet ecosystem. Now what is this? So what is said that all the traditional cryptography that we have that is based on some mathematics, once quantum technologies come, they have very high amount of computational power. So they will try all the prime numbers and won't crash. And they will be able to decipher what is the backtracking of that cryptography. So all the internet that is based on traditional cryptography will be broken down by quantum technology. So that is why if you want to have a secure future, you must secure everything by quantum technologies. This is being talked about. This is digital sovereignty, secure future internet ecosystem. Then okay, then this is ease of doing research and development report that has been recently released by Niti Aayog. Okay, important report, especially from the mains perspective. Now, report name is ease of doing research and development in India, released by Niti Aayog. Okay, and a similar name, ease of doing R&D in India survey, has also been done by Niti Aayog. That is, they are asking, they are taking a survey that what are the issues this that you're facing. Then, now see, first is this, it has come up with rope framework, which is removing obstacles and promoting enablers. Then push for lab to market. Okay, this is a major issue in India. We do a lot of research, never reaches the market. That is, a product is never made out of it. Okay, then boost private plus CSR funding for research. CSR, you know, corporate social responsibility. Then reduce rigid bureaucracy and procurement delays and shift to trust-based outcome-oriented ecosystem. These are the main suggestions that they give. These two terms you can use directly in your mains, that is rope framework and lab to market, and you can quote this paper or Niti Aayog directly. Okay, see the paper I have seen, paper is same things that we learn now, that what are the issues with R&D in India, same thing, that the investment is too less, the private participation in the frontier tech is not enough, then researchers are not enough, academia linkage is not well, correct. But this report is important so that after you write whatever you want to write, you quote this report that I have taken from this. That adds a layer of like authenticity to your answer. Then what is the current status of R&D in India? So this is the expenditure we have right now, 0.6 to 0.7% of GDP, very low. Then private sector contribution, see, low. Then rank 38 in global innovation index, which is improving. Then 6th globally in patent filings, strong growth in IP activity, Now, of course, because this is a government report, they are saying this. What they are not saying is our, see, they're constantly counting patent filings. The patent grants that we get is much lesser than this. And after getting the patent, so basically we are filing a lot of patents. Like one very famous, very famous universities called MET and Galgotias. They are they file the highest number of patents in India, much more than all IITs combined. Now, their success rate is around 0.3, 0.6, 0.9%. These are their success rates. So all the things that they file 700, 800 patents, hardly 4 5 patents are really getting granted. They are just doing this for a government scheme. So government, every patent you file, you get some money. So they are just filing. So these kind of patents are being filed in India. Now that is an issue because we are not getting the patents, and even after we get patents, we are not able to get it into the market as a product. Then what are key India's initiatives? Now, okay, so this is actually given there. Okay, little detail also, like the booklet that you will get there also, all these names are there, little only information I have added so that if it is asked in prelims. Okay, now see, these are the key initiatives. Anusandhan National Research Foundation. Okay, ANRF. Anusandhan means research in Hindi. Then this is the statutory body under DST. Funds and coordinates research, expands beyond elite institute. This is the main function of ANRF. Then next is Atal Innovation Mission. So this is under Niti Aayog, promotes innovation via ATL labs and incubators. Now Atal this is Atal Tinkering Labs. Okay, so basically these are open labs mainly for students, school going students. They are getting, like, if they want to innovate something, they are getting an ecosystem through this. This is Atal Innovation Mission. Then there is something known as Inspire. Inspire is a scholarship and fellowship from school to PhD level. So basically there is Inspire Award. So what these government schools and many other schools also, they send their like science projects and all, and whichever of them wins it, they get Inspire scholarship. Like you had NTSC scholarship and all, similar is this Inspire scholarship that is available from school till PhD. Okay, then so these names are important. That is, this is ANRF, then this is AIM, then this is Inspire. Then there is Imprint. This is Ministry of Education. This translates academic research into practical knowledge. Then there is Biotechnology Industry Research Assistance Council. This is BIRAC under Department of Biotechnology. Funds biotech startups, industry, academia linkage. And these two are what you know. This is National Quantum Mission under DST, will develop quantum tech, and Startup India, which is under DPIIT. It will promote all the startups that are working in deep tech. I think they asked about Inspire. UPSC did. Somewhere else missing out. So Inspire Fellowship, I think, was asked in some year because it was current affairs, so I don't remember exactly. Then, what are the key challenges in India's R&D ecosystem? Again, from the document, this is low funding plus weak private participation. Same thing, bureaucracy delays. Then poor lab to market conversion. Then weak academia industry linkage. See, talent issues, low research. I told you, same things every time they will give. Okay. Just you have to code the report. Then what measures can strengthen India's R&D ecosystem? Now, of course, increasing GERD, that is expenditure, general expenditure on research and development. Then plus incentivize private or CSR funding, same thing. Reform procurement plus give autonomy to researchers. Then build strong industry linkage, academia. Then focus mission mode research. Then merit based careers and interdisciplinary research. Mostly just same things are being repeated in the entire document. Then we come to this, PM Modi to inaugurate India's first semiconductor fab in Sanand, a hub of innovation and infrastructure. What is India's first semiconductor fab and why is it significant? So the thing is, see, we have Intel office here, okay, in Bangalore also. Now that is a very big office, all that. What they mainly do is they are always working on computer systems. That is, they are doing the pre-chip things. Once that is done, now whatever design, whatever they do everything here, but they are not making chips here. Then all this goes to mostly Taiwan or China, and there it will be made. Then it is brought back. Now they again do something known as post-chip works. So they will test how it is working, this, that. So this middle portion is gone. Okay, this is not being done in India. That is the making of real chips. This is called fabrication. Okay, now the thing is, fab labs are very, very costly. They cost billions of dollars to be made. That's why most countries don't even touch it. So that's why most countries are dependent on those same Taiwan and certain other countries. They are dependent on that only, that let them make. Getting them or procuring them is much cheaper. Making a whole fab is very difficult. Then, but India is trying. So India's first semiconductor fabrication plant has been set up in SEZ at Dholera, Gujarat. Now SEZ. See, what is SEZ? Special economic zone. Now, to make this into a special economic zone, actually they had to change the rules of special economic zones for this particular case, because this is a fabrication lab, so it won't be acquiring all that big land. Okay, it won't be providing employment to that many number of people that is required for an SEZ. But because it is so important, that's why they have made certain amendments to allow it. Dedicated to electronics IT ecosystem, expected employment is around 21,000. Then significance, major boost to electronics manufacturing ecosystem in India. Now see this. What is a semiconductor fab? See, so this is of course highly advanced facility to manufacture microchips, integrated circuits built on ultra pure silicon wafers with nanoscale precision. Okay, then key processes, not very important to us. Okay, then operates in, this is also not important. So this is what we are doing. These are the basic terms that we know of. Microchips, integrated circuits I explained while telling you about IPR. What were integrated circuits? Layout design of integrated circuits. So basically, how are the different components in a circuit arranged? That is called integrated circuits. Okay, that arrangement itself is very important. Then, like right now also, so artificial intelligence has been able to replace a lot of all these jobs that are around software engineering. But the thing is that they are not able to replace which people who are working with these chips, because they don't have publicly available data. So for that, the database is huge. Most companies are selling anyway. So they are getting all that data. They have trained their AI systems on it. But this chip manufacturing business, this is held by very few number of companies. Now those companies don't release their database in the open. And that's why AI also replacing them in the immediate future is difficult. Okay, and then what reforms were made to the SEZ rules to support semiconductor sector? Now, minimum land requirement was decreased from 50 hectare to 10 hectare. Encumbrance norms relaxed, that is leasing, mortgaging flexibility. Okay, so what is said that you should be able to, in special economic zones, you should be able to generate that amount of money upfront only. Okay, but here they have, because it's a huge sum of money like billions of dollars, so that's why they have allowed mortgaging also. Free of cost supplies included in NFE calculation. Okay, now this is what we export outside India. Now, usually whatever is free of cost supplies, that we don't count. But here, even if it is free of cost, then also we are counting it. Then, domestic sales allowed in DTA with duties. Okay, now, basically, if you know about SEZs, in SEZs, it is mainly export oriented. You don't allow it to send to domestic areas, correct? But here, they have allowed it, but with the duties. So basically whatever it is manufactured now, of course there won't be much duties. If you know, most of the exports in India is zero rated, correct? Even in foreign countries, exports are usually zero rated. Zero rated as in, if you're buying a product from that country, that is not taxed on. Why? Because ultimately, let's say this is a product, not a service, a product that is durable. Okay, if you are taking this, then charging you on this is not of much help to that country, because it anyway was exporting, correct? So it is just selling you directly. So if you take this, then you can go away and there won't be any taxes. For example, if you go to any foreign country and you buy something, then in the airport you will find kiosks where they will be telling you that if you have bought some products from here, durable products that you are taking back, so for that you get the taxes back. Okay, so that happens. So similarly, India will also do, though if it is sending to domestic territories, it will be with duties. Whatever is applicable for outside countries, same for us. Then make SEZs flexible for capital intensive manufacturing. Okay, then what is the strategic significance? So push under India's semiconductor mission 2.0, build full domestic value chain, chemical to chips, reduce import dependence, generate high skilled jobs, position India as global semiconductor hub. Very generic all the time. These two things, any government document that you read from past many years, this and some global hub, this you can write with your eyes closed. Okay, whenever you want, you can write that this will reduce import dependence, and you can also put Atmanirbhar Bharat or self-reliant India. And then making India a global semiconductor hub, a global quantum technologies hub, a global this hub, that hub, goes on. Okay, then we come to last, which is Parkinson's disease. So this April is called Parkinson's Awareness Month. That's why it was in news. Yeah. Now, see, Parkinson's disease, if you know what happens, there are so basically this is some kind of brain damage. So some neurons starts getting damaged. Now it happens progressively. So over a time, more and more neurons start getting affected. Now because of your neurons getting affected, you lose control over movement, and then some other issues are also caused. That's why you know about Muhammad Ali, the boxer, correct? So he got Parkinson's disease. You might have seen his like older videos where he is shaking all the time, correct? Now how he got the Parkinson's disease? Maybe because of the concussion and everything that he gets. He should have left much before, but anyway. Then so slowness of movement, speech changes, tremor, then flatulence, loss of smell, impaired balance, all these are different symptoms. Now, see, Parkinson's disease is a progressive neurological disorder that affects movement, balance and coordination and is caused by the loss of dopamine producing neurons in the brain. Okay. Then, what is Parkinson's disease? So, progressive neurodegenerative disorder affecting movement caused by loss of dopamine, same thing, leads to impaired motor control, tremors, rigidity, slow movement, all this. Then, so basically the thing with nerves is, so first thing is like, if you get some issues with your nerves, now even the doctors, even the neurologist, they don't want to get into it very quickly. So what will happen, like I have had friends who got this. So basically, if let's say the feet of her stopped working as in she was not able to raise it. Okay, now because of some connections that was broken during mains, so she was writing mains in some odd positions. Okay, yeah, actually, so she was giving exam in a small school. Okay, and there was benches for class 1 class 2 students. So she was literally sitting with her legs folded and she was writing the whole mains. Now by the end of it, she got this issue in her leg. Now it felt like a simple some kind of muscle strain, but it was actually some nerve got twisted. Now doctor saw it and doctor said that operation we'll have to do, but the problem is that we don't understand nerves well enough. So it can cause a major issue if he opens and tries to look into nerves. This is not like some electrical wire. So this is like very delicate things. So what they usually do, they just send you to physiotherapy and get some kind of treatment. So they, in physiotherapy also, they give certain amounts of electrical signals they keep sending, so that it sometimes starts getting those signals back, because they also don't want to enter. No neurologist is sure that they will be able to get through it or correct it. It's so integrate. These are nerve endings. Anyway, it took like 5-6 months and then she got her control back. Slowly, very slowly. Okay, so this is what is happening here. So here anything happens to your brains, nerves ending, it is very difficult to treat. Very difficult to treat, because nobody has confidence, because we don't have an understanding of how these things are working. Okay, like we understand other organs, liver wo dikh jata hai, fatty liver, okay, some kind of cirrhosis is being formed. Here you are not able to understand anything. Okay, then see, that is why it is said worsening over time, no cure. Then this is degenerative in nature. What are the causes and factors of this? Now, exact causes unknown. Okay, then genetic link. So it is said that higher risk with family history. If anybody in your family have had this disease, you have a higher chance. This is the level of knowledge that we have about this. Then environmental factors. Yes, of course, air pollution, pesticide, solvent, all these can increase the risk or can increase the symptoms that you are having. If you are taken well care of, you have much better chances of surviving for a bit longer. Correct? Like Muhammad Ali could survive for many years like that, because he had enough wealth and support and everything. A normal person who gets this will find it very difficult, because he is constantly having issues with the movement. Okay, then age, usually 50 to 60 years, but younger also get affected. Gender, this is more common in men. Now why it is more common in men? The cause is itself unknown. So why do we know? How do we know? Okay, but anyway it is found more in men. Then what are the symptoms? Symptoms you understood. These are the main symptoms: sleep disorders, cognitive impairment, dementia, all this fine. Then what are the challenges and treatment options? So there is no definitive cure. Diagnosis often delays, symptoms are ignored or misinterpreted. Okay, so because this is happening in old age, so when old age people fall, nobody is thinking that maybe this is because of Parkinson's starting stage. They think that she is just getting old, or there is some problem with the bones, because they will look like the legs got folded and she fell. So that way it goes. Then rising global burden, India has around 10%, okay, of the global burden. Then treatment, medicines, symptom management, okay, like you are trying to manage whatever issues they are having, that only you are managing. Then advanced deep brain stimulation or MR guided ultrasound, these are some techniques, not very, like they have been used only for the experimental purpose. Some one case they might have tried, otherwise not a widespread cure or technology. Then I think this is it. Yeah, okay, so this is it for your current affairs lecture.